Happy 4th of July. Happy Bitcoin. Happy freedom. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. We have a spectacular show for you today. Lots of fireworks. Apparently, speaking fireworks. We're going to discuss all things Bitcoin, the freedom it provides, how we're free in this country, and among other things. And I promise we'll get to crypto soon. But first, here's Robin.
Hola! Is your boy Big Rob back in the house on July 4th. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Yeah. Where's Bitcoin at?
What the hell was that?
What
kind of intro was that?
That's it, man. Take old, boring, and stale information, repackage it up in a fun and sexy way. That's what we do here. Yes. That's right.
Speaking of Bitcoin, that was a bad segue, but I do want to give a shout out to channel sponsor Cam's Blue Wire Technology. Today's crisp and clear 4K stream wouldn't have been happening if it wasn't for them. We've been on the phone with them for the past 2 weeks. They're walking us through all of our IT and networking issues. If you want the same service for your business, visit bluewiretech.com or simply click the link in the description of this video. Now, Robin.
Hey, Basil.
You know, on like TikTok and Instagram and everywhere, there's all these gurus telling you how to make money easy and coming up with new ways to make, well, got a new way for people if you want to make money. You know those billboards on the taxis?
Yeah. A lot of those in Vegas.
You don't need a car to be able to make money advertising, as this man has cracked the code. And yes, that is a TV.
Satoshi?
A TV.
Strapped.
Listen,
the land of the free, home of the brave.
It's only a 55-inch.
It's actually, actually, they talk about it. I muted the sound, but it's 45 inches.
45, so I see
42 or 40.
75-inch, it can be challenging.
Yeah, it's very challenging. But great neck strength, which the guy in the video also mentions that. Not sure if this is funny, but it's at least intriguing. There was cocaine found in the library of the executive mansion at the White House. And they evacuated everyone. And well, of course, all people are pointing their finger at, Hunter Biden. And so
I like how they got this diagram over here, like they're playing.
This reminds me of Clue.
They're playing a game of Clue. It was in the study, in the library,
with a dollar bill rolled up.
Nobody make noise.
Like, why would they evacuate the White House?
They don't know if it was anthrax or But Hunter Biden went in there. Was like, nope, yep, it's cocaine. CIA, if you're watching, it's just, I'm sorry, please. Now, this day, 12 years ago, a computer glitch ignited what was meant to be a 17-minute fireworks show, and it ignited everything in once. And
I thought you were going to say Y2K.
No, do you remember this? Thank you so much for tuning in. That was out of left field. And then, so this is kind of cool. So you know that MSG sphere they're building behind the wind?
Yeah.
Well, it's functional now, and look what it looks like today. It's kind of cool, right?
That's cool.
They can program it, do cool little things, and
yeah, I saw it moving
with the little
Yeah,
a bunch of different swirl patterns.
Yeah.
It looks pretty dope.
Looks pretty dope.
It would be nice to design the graphic on the thing. I wonder how they.
I wonder how much it would
how you
cost
do
to put Sin City Crypto's logo up there.
Mm.
We'll look into that. And then, guys, happy 4th. It's from CoinGecko. Here's a look at the price of Bitcoin since 2014 on Independence Day. So last year, we were sitting at $19,300. In 2021, $34,730. And then you can see there. But back to 2014, $627.
A year ago, huh? 19,000. That.
Yep. So since 2022, we were up 61%. So this is great. Also, Rob, would you take classes at Bitcoin University? This was spotted in Houston, Texas. This doesn't look sus. I don't know what does, but you know what this reminds me? You know that Wolf of Wall Street's where he goes in for the penny stocks? He goes in to trade. Bitcoin University.
My thing is that rewind it. It's at Gensler Plaza. I know it doesn't say Gensler, but it looks like
It
Gensler
does look like
Plaza.
Gensler.
Just saying.
And it's the only one there. Interesting. How much would you pay to take a class?
Well, it's the bear market. You would expect you expect a nice big.
Just saying. You're going to call it a university. I mean. Anyways. Now, with that being said, Rob, over the last couple of weeks, you always used to do the CoinMarketCap, and I've kind of taken that away from you. And for that, my friend, I do want to apologize.
Don't have any responsibilities left. I just laugh and say inappropriate stuff now.
And interrupt me.
There you go.
But Robin, I want to hand the reins back over to you.
Is that so?
Continue.
Okay.
Let's get into the markets and see what Bitcoin's doing.
All
But
right.
first, before we do, yes, I'm going to cut you off. If you are a Bitcoin hodler and you don't want to pay taxes when you pull out your gains, you're going to want to get an iTrust Capital account, the leading crypto IRA account out there. You can set up a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, which is something I recommend. Roth IRAs, you put in after-tax dollars, and when you pull out your gains, you don't pay any taxes. So if you plan on hodling anyways, what a better way. Click the link in the description of this video and go open an account. You get a free $100 once you load money in there. So that being said, Robin, take it away.
All right. So we do have Bitcoin coming in at $30,867.27. And so a little pullback from yesterday, but not much, honestly. I'm telling you, this was the 24-hour chart. You have 31.3 here was kind of the peak a day ago. Now we're at 30,800. We talked about this yesterday. I think we're going to be consolidating, trading sideways here at 30K for quite some time, barring some giant news from the SEC or court case, or maybe an exchange that's blown up. So, so outside of those extreme events, I do think we'll be at 30K for next month, maybe two.
Rob, before you move on, because you mentioned being at 30K for a specific amount of time. So I got the, if we would swap over to my laptop, Rocco, I got the weekly on Bitcoin pulled up here. And so we saw this ever since we bottomed out, right? This was November of last year. So we traded sideways around this 16.8K level from November 14th through January, the beginning of January, okay? Then we saw a massive green candle. And after that massive green candle, we spent about 49, call it 50 days trading sideways, all right? If we move forward, we see another massive green candle. And well, how long did we spend there until we saw another big green candle? 84 days. Do you expect to see more of the same? And, if we average, you're looking at an average about 65 days. We traded sideways on Bitcoin after a big move up. We just got a big move up on Bitcoin, right?
It was damn near to a T 2 months. And then this last one lasted a little longer. I think we got almost 3 months. I think it was 3 months.
3 months.
Yes. Yeah. So
about 90 days.
I think between, I would say 1 and 3 months. If if the average is 2, last month was 3, or the last channel that we traded in was 3 months in duration. The 2 before were 2 months. Might be 1, might be 2, might be another 3. So you never know. But I think the bullish sentiment. We've looked at the crypto fear and greed index, and it measures multiple factors, and I think that people are ready to get back into crypto. They're ready to invest again. They feel like the explosive situation that we were in, where you weren't sure, hey, can I keep my money on an exchange? Not saying that now is a green light and go ahead and do it. You should practice custodying your own crypto, but I think that people aren't as fearful that the exchanges are just going to simply go under. And so you can have a little comfort moving some crypto onto an exchange and then trading, and not trying to just move it there and then remove it immediately afterwards. At least that's my sentiment, and I think the overall market kind of feels that way. And so I think that people are going to get back into crypto slowly. People that had left, and I think people are going to start DCAing, and institutions are getting more exposure now. So I think that basically what I'm saying, I don't think we're going to go the full 3 months. I don't think we're going to go 2 months. I I think we go a month to a month and a half, and then we'll move up to 34,000.
You can see, based off of what the candles actually look like, whenever you get, long wicks, whether it's to the upside or downside, that typically means indecision in the market, right? You got the bears pushing the price down, bulls pushing the price up, and it kind of closes where it opens. But we are towards the upper range of this cloud, and this cloud remains at $31,800. If I swap over to the daily on Bitcoin, I mean, perfect resistance right at that 31,565 level. We wicked up there a couple times. I'm going to zoom in here just a little for you guys. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 times we wicked up there. Why is this such an important level? Well, this was resistance back in May of last year. We bumped up against this 31.5 level twice until we got rejected. And then we all know what happened then. And then it also has been a support level as well, going all the way back to January, May, June of 2021. Now, what is the next level of big support resistance we can expect? 37.7 is what I'm seeing. And you can see a gap in the volume on our way up to that 37.7 level. And this is important as well because, 1, 2, 3 times we either consolidated or bounced right off of that 37.7 level, going all the way back to August of 2021. Kind of same thing here, guys. We did bump up against this as resistance. This is back in January of 2021. So some levels to take a look at for Bitcoin. Either way, Bitcoin is something, and this is not financial advice, but to me personally, Bitcoin is something that I DCA no matter what. I continue. I do take some profits, keep it in stables, and roll back into Bitcoin.
I think there's about a 50-50 chance that Bitcoin for all of eternity remains the strongest, biggest market cap on crypto.
Say that one more time.
I think there's about a 50-50 chance that moving forward through the course of time, through my entire lifetime, that nothing will ever replace Bitcoin as far as number one spot on
So
the
you don't believe
cap.
in the flipping anymore? Didn't you say you believed ETH would flip Bitcoin?
Nope. So with that said, if you're just trying to time the market, hey, if I buy now this token, will it outperform Bitcoin in this window and then I could sell and move on? Your best bet is to put in a good position on Bitcoin and just ride that thing out and just keep DCAing, because at the end of the day, it's going to win out over time. And I like to use the analogy or the comparison of investing in Apple. If I said, hey, you can invest in Apple or Google at the beginning when it launches, the smartest thing to do would just be to buy Apple, right? And just leave it alone, right?
Yeah.
If you could buy Apple in 1998
Set it and forget
or
it.
1993, you would just buy it then. And then you just would stop. So you could just imagine if you traveled back in time and somebody was like, hey, man, it's like this Apple thing, it's moving slowly, man. You're probably only going to get about 80% return next year, maybe. Over the next course of 3 years, you might get 200% return. But let me tell you, I got some stocks over here that my homie told me about. You can get 500% returns, 1,000% returns. Forget the Apple, just do that. And then, then you can take your profits and move it in there, and hopefully you don't lose it. But we know how that works out.
We all know how that works out.
Yeah. So it's gonna stand the test of time, right? I mean, do you think that there's going to be a flippening? Because the way I look at it is simply that nation states are going to use it as a digital gold, right? And there's no amount of utility that a layer one can have. Like, it would be like saying, what's gonna be worth more?
What about
gold or Visa?
What about
well, Visa? I mean, like,
what about tokenizing government bonds and treasuries and stuff like that? That's a massive market.
Yeah, there's multiple.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just trying to play the other side, trying to play devil's advocate here.
So what you're saying, that tokenizing bonds and what
you're talking about currency? Utility, right? You're saying there's not a utility big enough. Well, what if?
You meant for Bitcoin?
No, for Ethereum.
Oh, well, why would they tokenize bonds?
Already talking about it.
Well, here's the
Something
thing.
banks are talking about?
If they're going to use crypto and with bonds, they're going to just use Bitcoin. I understand that the smart contract and the transfer and all that, what you're saying is the tokenization would be done on Ethereum, but the underlying value would probably be Bitcoin. The same way that you have wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, pretty sure that if they were going to do tokenized bonds, treasury bonds issued by government, if the underlying value is going to either be the nation's currency or it's going to be Bitcoin if they do a crypto. And that's what I'm saying. The default is always going to be Bitcoin.
What are your thoughts on XRP flipping Bitcoin? If it is the... reading the chat. I'm reading the chat. Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Redman.
I love XRP. I think it's great. However, like this whole like Bitcoin's going to get to $100 or no, XRP's going to get to $100. I'm like, you're telling me that it's going to flip like Bitcoin? Like, I'm sorry. I love 4th of July. I like fireworks, but let's be real. The thing is not going to shoot up there and pass Bitcoin. It's not. It's not.
Very unlikely.
It's just not. There's no... If the market grew there,
or someone who's been listening to Justin Bieber, I'm surprised. Never
my
say
daughter is in town.
Never
okay?
say never.
I've been listening to Justin Bieber for 24 hours.
Never say never. That's what he says.
And
you should know this.
It was funny though, because I put Justin Bieber on the Spotify and I just hit like random play. My daughter's like, that's not Justin Bieber, that's a girl. And I'm like, that's when he was younger. He was younger. He did sound like a muchacha.
That's funny. Oh man. Okay. It's an interesting conversation. You know, maybe if Bitcoin was just peer to peer, and as Satoshi's vision was, and nothing else, sure, right? ETH could flip it. Maybe even XRP could flip it if it's the bank coin and all the payments run on their infrastructure. Sure, but now that we have the ability to inscribe inscriptions on Bitcoin, you have layer 2s being built on Bitcoin.
Even before that, man.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we're expanding, and the thing is that it's an immutable. It has immutable data to it. So to preface what you have, so if you ever had any kind of document or any piece of information you wanted to keep away from being censored and you wanted it to be there forever, you simply inscribe it in the Bitcoin network. You know, last will and testament, the deed to your house, whatever it is. Or let's just say, hey, there was one example where they actually did this on the Ethereum network, but you can do this with Bitcoin as well, where a college student sent an email on addressing an accusation of sexual harassment, and she felt like, I think she was Asian, and she thought that she would be silenced or not taken seriously or deleted the text, whatever it was. She inscribed that email onto the Ethereum network, so that it was there forever. So the college administrators could never say that they didn't get it or whatever it is. Like, it's there forever. And think of all of the massively important corporate documents that are being stored somewhere, right? And here in the United States, sure, we're a little bit more secure on our data, but even then, I mean, we see the likes of Visa and all these giant companies have data leaks, and so why not keep some very important data on the blockchain?
Couple of things. I do want to give a special shout out to Web3 MCT. He or she, whoever you are, has been very active in the chat over the last couple of weeks. So thank you.
And we forgot to give a shout out yesterday to Brokyoshi.
Yeah.
He gave 10 gifted memberships. So
Brokyoshi, please take this apology from all of us here. We did not recognize
And then
you.
also, the chat is a little quiet today. And if you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We have a few new people. We have Steven, and we have Cindy La Uraguacha, Meanless, and Pong Meh. I know Pong's been here before, but I don't think I've shouted you out enough lately, so throwing it out there. And so to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, guys, do us a favor. I want to know, what are you guys doing for 4th of July? Do you got any plans? Or are you working? I made that sound kind of depressing, right?
You did.
Yeah.
Do you have plans, Robin? What are your plans? Overcook some New Yorks or what?
Working in the mine?
You know, I'm gonna take my daughter to go watch some fireworks.
Oh, where are you going to go?
I don't know.
Caesar's Palace and the Wynn do a pretty good fireworks show.
Do they?
And the Bellagio, yeah.
You know, last year I drove to, you know, there's like a place in Henderson, but man, you know, the roads aren't designed to funnel that many people to like a park. And so anyways, you get stuck in traffic for like 10 hours or whatever it is. So
Horrible. Where's DFib at?
DFib.
DFib. Remember DFib? Your boy?
Yeah. That's some throwback. That's a throwback.
OG members.
Yeah, member.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people that used to watch that don't anymore, and vice versa.
They'll come back. And we will remember them. Now, speaking of remembering, we do remember that July has been a historically green month for Bitcoin, right? The last 3 years, 24% in 2020, 18% in 2021, 16.8% in 2022. Robin, are we going to see another double-digit green month in the month of July? How much do you put on past price action and historically what Bitcoin has done? Are you in that camp of history repeats itself or at least moves in the same trajectory?
I don't think we get a double digit. Not
really?
For this month.
Why not?
We discussed it earlier. I think that we consolidated 30K for at least a month. I think a month and a half, and then we'll pop off. Okay. So I think this month, I think it'll be very similar. You see, if you're looking at that chart there, you got March 2023. It was 22.9. Then the following one was 2%.
Yep.
I think we're going to get the similar look on June and July, but I think we're going to, yeah. So
okay.
June was 12%, and then I think you're going to come in a little underwhelming right now.
What does the chat think? Are we going to see double-digit gains in July? Put a 1. If we're not, put a 2. So 1, double-digit July. 2, no double-digit July. Let us know in the chat. Okay, now let's take a look at some altcoins and the crypto bubbles. What's happening? Well, yesterday flow was up. Well, today flow is down. 12.6%. Some of the other biggest losers, Filecoin did draw back as well, or draw down as well. Yesterday, that pumped. Stacks was pumping. It is down 4.5%. What is up? Aave continues to be up 6.6%. Aptos up 3.3%. Leo token. Leo is which one's Leo? Bitfinex, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Thanks, Robin. And then Curve, Solana's up 1.7%, so kind of flat with the exception of a few. Take a look at the last hour, what's pumping. FTT token continues to pump. Why? FTX 2.0. That's
well, it's supposed to relaunch. So, you know, speaking of relaunch, I watched the relaunch of the Little Mermaid and the real life. Is it pretty good, man? I took my daughter there. It's funny because she's never, you know, she told me, she said, well, I like that one. And she's comparing her Disney movies. She was like, oh, yeah, you know, she's like, Aladdin's my favorite movie. And then
Aladdin was a good movie. Will Smith?
Yeah, well, that's what she said. And I was like, well, that's the new one. And then she was like, what do you mean new one? She's like, oh, you're talking about the cartoon one? She's like, the cartoon Disneys are stupid. I'm like, what do you mean cartoon Disneys are stupid? She's like, yeah, that's not real Disney.
Whoa.
She told me it's not real Disney movies. And I was like, hold on. So
tell me you sat her down and talked to her.
Yeah, and I tried to give her the origins, and I'm like, mermaids, you know,
Bitcoin fixes
historically,
this,
historically, Little Mermaids had red hair, but I'll leave it at there. But it was very inspiring for. And so I'm just confused because I realized that Disney stopped doing animated movies.
Yeah,
they don't do them anymore.
I don't know anymore.
And she was literally like, "No, I don't." She's like, "I don't watch cartoons." I was like, "It's not a cartoon. It is a cartoon. It's not a cartoon." I was like, "But it is." I was like, "Stop it!"
You know,
I'm thinking about American pastimes. It's July 4th, so I'm just thinking about all the things that we're known for.
Bitcoin does fix this, Robin.
What's that?
Bitcoin fixes.
Bitcoin fixes that, right?
That's got to be the best thing.
Animated movies?
Yeah. Fixes everything. Can even do your dishes for you. Now, let's move on to some of the biggest news of the day. Let's start with an altcoin, one of our favorites, and that is Polygon. another big partnership for Polygon Matic, and this time with Etihad Airlines, one of the largest and luxurious airlines. I believe they're the airline for UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Pretty well-known brand. Etihad chooses Polygon for high-stakes Mission Impossible NFT launch. In a tweet on Monday, Etihad NFT announced it would launch a special edition NFT collection on Polygon to celebrate the release of the new Mission Impossible movie. Now, while the utilities and mint date are yet to be revealed, the collection is set to have a limited supply of 300 of them. Community members also have been given a chance to be whitelisted by retweeting and dropping their wallet addresses in the comments of said tweet. It is not the first time that Etihad is partnering with Polygon. The airline partnered with the blockchain network to launch the first ever NFT collection back in July of last year. Now,
I'm just waiting for airline tickets to NFT, right? Like, when is that going to happen?
ticketing. You want to talk about NFT? Like, I know right now it's just profile pictures and whatever NFTs are right now.
But you remember when airline tickets used to be the printed out ones with like the little extra like rip stub at the very end?
Boarding pass.
Yeah, the boarding passes. Yeah.
Now it's all on your phone.
Yeah.
And what an easier transition to be just on your phone to an NFT on your phone.
Mm-hmm. And it might take a couple security breaches to kind of get us there, right? Because we're not going to go back to the printed boarding passes.
No.
Now, you can get those if you really want to, but I mean, you might see that old lady at the airport check in, and you're like, where did you get that from? Like, who printed that out for you? But outside of a handful of people and maybe Rocco, nobody has those passes anymore. And so
Stupid.
And so, I think if there is some kind of broad international security breach where people are able to print out tickets or manipulate tickets or whatever it is, that might be the catalyst to get us over to NFTs, right? Say, hey, look, this is way more secure and transferable and auditable, and yeah. So there you go.
Now, Rob, what are your thoughts on Polygon? Are they like the representative, the crypto representative in traditional world of business?
Okay. Let's just say you have a business, right? You say, look, I want to use crypto. I want to use smart contracts, right? Because that's essentially what it is, right? NFT. If you're going to use an NFT, you're using a smart contract. That's essentially what it is, unless it's the Bitcoin ordinals, but we're not going to go down that one. So outside of that, essentially, if you would want to use crypto services in the form of a smart contract, you're going to use Ethereum, right? Right?
Yeah.
The biggest, especially if you're a big company, you're not going to take a chance on Solana. It's been around for now 2 years. It's had some outages. And it's had some controversial investments by companies that went under. And with that said, there's really only one safe choice, especially in the eyes of American-based companies when it comes to someone that's could be sued, shut down, banned, whatever it is. So if you're an American-based company, and I know this isn't American, I know that the one that we're talking about now is not, but when it comes to just institutional adoption, just from my personal perspective, I'm not launching a business and I want smart contracts. I'm going on Ethereum. But however, Ethereum is too slow. It doesn't have the throughput for a large scale business. So there's really only one option, Ethereum, and that's too slow, but you can still use Ethereum's network, Polygon. It's simple. It's just a natural movement of where the business is going to funnel into, right? Can't use Bitcoin, no smart contracts. Can't use Ethereum, too slow. You can use Polygon. And so business is just naturally going to flow there until competition catches up.
What about Avalanche, Robin? They made some big partnerships.
They're just too small. They're not big enough.
How come Cardano isn't getting any of this, right? Let's have a serious conversation.
When did Ethereum launch?
Ethereum launched in 2014.
When did Cardano launch? They're behind that. They're behind. They just launched their smart contracts in the last bull market, in 2020, end of 2021, beginning of 2022. And
So you're
they're
saying it's
still
just a longevity thing? Is that what you're saying?
No, if you want to make a partnership right now, you're probably going to use somebody that has tested and been proven.
Longevity.
Yeah. If you're gonna use a store of value, you're not gonna use a new project, right? It's just how the markets work.
We're not talking about store of value here. We're talking about functionality.
I know. I'm giving you another example. If you're gonna use a store of value, you're gonna use something that is established and been around for a while, right? You're not gonna use the new layer 1 that just came out last month as a store of value, right? That would make no sense. And I know that's one extreme to another, but essentially, Bitcoin wasn't made to be a store of value. It was made for utility as a layer 1, right? The layer 1 was just to facilitate transactions. So, but it became a store of value later. And so when you say, hey, like, where am I going to trust my money? Where am I going to trust my network, my utility, my business, my customers? Where, because you know how it is. You can use, if you use let's just say you buy something online, okay? You buy something online. You buy it normally through Amazon, right? Let's say Amazon don't have it. And you go to some random website you never heard of. You're a little worried. It kind of worries you, right?
Yeah, especially if I got to put my credit card information.
But let's just say you're like, you know what? YOLO, whatever. I'm going to buy it. What happens if you don't receive that product? Will you ever use it again?
No.
Exactly. So if you use a company's crypto services and the first time you use it, it doesn't work, you're never going to use it again. And so you're never going to take a chance on something that isn't proven. The risk of using something that is uncertain, it far more exceeds any potential that you could get for something growing and becoming larger in the future. So you can't use Avalanche because it's not tested, at least not the test of time. And I'm not saying it's not reliable. I'm just saying that, like, from a business perspective, with that mentality, if my customer uses it and it does not work, we are fucked. That's right. I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to.
So Rob, let me try to make this argument. Okay. ETH has been around for a while, but it had a completely different consensus model. Now it's proof of stake. Does that not matter when your own founder comes out and is so confused by staking and doesn't trust it that he only stakes a small portion of his Ethereum? Is that something that you would consider as a business or businesses?
It's not. People don't care how it works as long as it works. And if you've been using a trucking company to ship your products from the east to the west coast via gasoline truck, and all of a sudden they don't tell you and they switch it over to electric trucks, as long as the product gets from one to the other, it doesn't really matter.
Damn it, Robin.
And so the companies do not care how the thing works. They don't care.
I have never met a man with better analogies.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I got to give credit where credit's due. Rocco, can we get a round of applause for my friend Robin, please? No, I'm being serious. Why do I make a big deal? Because sometimes crypto can get confusing. So when you use great analogies, it's easier.
And yes, we know what a consensus protocol is. We know what proof of work is. We know what proof of stake is. But how many of those corporate partnerships that you've listed, the Starbucks, do you think the Starbucks board members have any idea what proof of consensus and proof of stake mean? No, they don't. They're less like, we got crypto? You can buy it with crypto? Cool. Awesome. That's all they know. They don't know anything else. They know the word Ethereum and Bitcoin. They don't know how it works. It doesn't matter as long as it works. That's all that matters.
Okay, fair enough. It's a good analogy. Now, speaking of NFTs, more in a negative light, though, we're going to talk about the Suzuki thing. Well,
the Azukis blew up like a Suzuki, bro. That car company ain't around no more, is it?
Suzuki, I think they are around.
Cycle.
Yeah.
No, they used to have. I remember I remember I used to have a Jeep Wrangler back in the day when I was like in high school, and my sister's boyfriend, he had a Suzuki, and he would call it a Jeep. I'm like, it's not a Jeep. He's like, it is a Jeep. I'm like, no, it's a Suzuki. And it was this ugly thing that kind of tried to look like a Jeep, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
The Suzuki Jeep. Let's see. Dude, this thing was so ugly.
It was terrible.
The thing was, it was a straight ripoff. Like, they tried to make it look like, oh, they got new ones. Never mind, they're still around. Yeah, yeah. But this is
1981. 1981.
Yeah, these.
Robin hates Jeeps, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
Dude, like, why would you pay all that money for a Jeep, man? The price, the return on that is pretty bad, bro.
Guys, if you're new here, say hello. We want to personally welcome you.
Why on earth would you spend like $73,000 on a Jeep Cherokee?
It's a Grand Cherokee L Summit.
This thing is ugly, bro. I just think the value.
They're actually nice cars.
They're
Not saying
nice.
I spent $70K on it.
Yeah,
but,
they're just the price compared to.
Are you going to respond to Samantha or no?
Huh? What happened?
Are you going to respond to Samantha?
What'd Samantha say?
Samantha said, I'm online. Would you like any help?
I found it. I found that one.
Oh, no.
That's the one.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's the ugly one.
Suzuki
right there.
SJ.
Yeah.
Where has this conversation gone? No idea.
It's 4th of July. That's what we do.
We went from Azuki to Suzuki.
Yeah. Also, on a side note, when I was in the movie theater yesterday, somebody got arrested while I was in the theater.
For what?
I don't know. All I know is the cops were there and flashlights, and so I'm like watching the movie.
In the movie
theater?
theater?
On back here? Yeah. In the movie theater.
What the hell?
But the thing was, it was the back row. So, I had my suspicions. I'm like, I know what y'all were doing back there.
Gotcha.
I got some free movie tickets, though. At the end, they're like, here. I'm like, what's that for? They're like, because the disruption.
Convenient.
And I'm asking the guy, I'm like, well, what happened up there? He's like, I don't know. I'm like,
Magic Internet Money. Magic, we need to get him back on the show, huh, man? He said Jeep stands for just empty ever pocket in terms of cost. Wow.
Bro, it's the thing, like, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the new one, like the fully loaded, is $100,000. Like, why on earth would you spend $100,000 on a Jeep Grand Cherokee?
It's a lot of money for a car.
I understand it's a great Grand Cherokee, but it's not worth $100,000 Cherokee. Like, get out of here, bro. Yeah. So.
Now, let's go back to Azuki. Well, you guys know what happened, right? Elementals dropped 20,000. 10,000 of them were airdropped to Azuki holders. The other 10,000 were sold for 2 ETH. And it just completely tanked the floor of Azukis. I went from about 17, 18 ETH down to below 7. And now, if we're just checking real quick, we are still below 7. We were barely over 7. We were, I think, like 7.1.
I saw it down to 6.1 at one point.
Now,
where are the new elementals?
Elementals, yeah.
Because I know they were under. I think they were under 1 ETH. I'm not sure. No, they're like.
So 1.24. So he lost money on both ends. Now, here's the thing. So people were so mad, the Azuki community was so mad, that they decided to create an Azuki Dao. And this account was created June 29th. They created a DAO, they created a bean token, they airdropped it, and then they casted a vote. And here it is. Azuki Dao wants the founders of Azuki to use 20,000 of the ETH they raised to support the community with more rewards. So far, the vote is exceedingly in the majority. And so here's what they're going to do. And I'm going to do this. Hello, we are the OG Azuki holders. Many of us have held Azuki since its mint. We have provided support to Azuki. We have contributed, blah, blah, blah. Despite our efforts, we have only been given a similar profile picture to that of the original Azuki holders and nothing more. The team is blatantly scamming us with empathy checks and promises. We motion that, and listen to this. Azuki Dao hires a lawyer and files a lawsuit against Zagabond for rugging multiple projects. Azuki Dao retrieves a refund of 20,000 ETH from the team and allocates it to the DAO to promote the growth of the entire Azuki community and provide rewards and incentives for artists, content creators, and builders. And number 3, Azuki Dao provides financial support to 20,000 ETH DAO. The fund will be used to help us organize a research team for the lawsuit. And this thing is over 80% now. Is this a sham?
First of all, that's all for nothing. That's like trying to form a union in China. You know, they're gonna be like,
the hell?
They were like, yeah, power to the sit down.
Sit down.
Right? That's exactly what it is, bro. It's a good effort. It makes sense. And in certain parts of the world, it would work. But Azuki ain't gonna give up half of the money they raised. First of all, they just got beat up. If anything, they're just trying to like wither the storm. They're at war right now,
but Rob,
and they can't give up half that capital they just raised.
Look at the volume, okay? Remember, royalty fees. How much are royalty fees? 5%. And we know with all the selling, and I don't know how to check.
Oh, they're making money.
That's what I'm saying. Even on here you go. For sale over the last 24 hours. 907 ETH. So 5% of that.
The thing is if you're going to be a successful NFT project moving forward, you have to provide keep building on utility and community. You can't simply just airdrop and just think that the next picture is going to get you rich, man. You have to fundamentally offer a service or a product that is worth something. There is no way 30,000 pictures are going to be able to keep the value of thousands of dollars. They're just not. Mathematically, it won't happen. Not over the course of time. Look at any collectible series. They fade out of existence. Do you think that Star Wars memorabilia would be worth what they're worth if they didn't create any new movies after the 80s?
Say that one more time.
Do you think
that
memorabilia, the Star Wars memorabilia, would be worth anywhere near what they're worth now if they would have stopped making Star Wars movies after the first 3 that came out in the 80s?
Hell no.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that they have a community that is willing to pay for it because they keep building products and they keep growing the community, and they have that nostalgia. But here's the thing. If you just come out with more pictures, it's not going to do anything. At some point, you're going to need to add like some real utility, so something. Now, if it was a handful of, like the same thing, like at some point, NFT market is going to shift. And it's going to move away from just the JPEGs. And if you think that JPEGs are going to be here for life, they're not. And there will be a few exceptions. There might be some crypto punks or some Bored Apes or whatever it is. I think it's more likely the punks are going to be the ones that hold value over the length of time.
Punks are down too.
No, I know they're down, but I'm just saying that, like, moving forward. I'm just thinking, projecting out 10 years. 10 years, I don't think any Bored Apes are worth anything. Not anything meaningful, at least. And I don't think that any NFT, if it doesn't evolve in this space, I think we're going to look back and we're going to laugh and be like, remember when people were just burning, they were spending 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand on a picture of a monkey? And that's all it was?
Not true. There's a metaverse and a game. Right? Dookie Dash.
That Dookie Dash, though.
Speaking of Dookie, the floor price of Bored Apes are Dookie, 30.5 ETH. The Mutant Apes were down to under 6, I believe. Let's check in on the Mutant Apes. Let's see where they're at. A little NFT action. 6.19. So 6.19 ETH on the Mutant Ape Yacht Club.
Let me ask you a question.
What's that?
If they launch that Metaverse game, what did they have a name? What was it? Other Side, right?
Other Side.
Let's say Other Side comes out. Let's just say nobody really plays it.
Okay.
Is the whole ecosystem done?
That's a good question, Robin. They've leveraged that and I read an article, or I was listening to a podcast about, or it might have been a Twitter Spaces of the Bored Ape community, and these guys were like, hey, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Supposed to be a club. I believe they held an event, then they stopped doing it, and now their entire focus is on this metaverse and this game. And if that thing flops,
dude, I'm just curious. I mean, realistically, I know you're not a gamer, but let's just think about this. Who the hell is going to play that game? I'm just saying, what demographics are going to spend hours upon hours playing?
Answer the question. You're a gamer. Answer the question. Answer your own question.
There is nobody. There is no demographic. That's what I'm saying. Is that why do you invest in GameStop? Or no, okay, here. The people that invest in GameStop are not playing games for a living, right? If the people that are holding 5% of all of the stock in GameStop, they don't play video games all day. They're relying on kids playing video games. They're relying on teenagers playing video games. They're relying on 20-year-olds degenerating and playing Grand Theft Auto all day. So the people that are invested in the video game sector, the gaming sector, the entertainment sector, the people that are investing in it, the stockholders, they are not playing the game. So they need to rely on a community of people to play the game. And I just don't understand who the hell is going to play the Bored Ape game, because the people that are holding the Bored Ape token ain't going to play it. Those aren't the demographics. So you need to invest. If you're going to invest in the metaverse, if you're going to invest in a game, you're going to invest in an ecosystem, in an RPG, whatever it is. If you're going to invest in it, you need to invest with the premise that there's going to be people that aren't investors playing the game. You need to sit here and say, all right, I want to buy this token because there's going to be millions of people playing this Bored Ape Yacht Club game. And it can't be the token holders because they're not gamers. They're not people that play the game. So you need to create something that has mass adoption. That's the whole point. Metaverse. What is meta? Meta means all-encompassing. It's large. It means it needs millions of users. And you have created, I'm pulling it up.
Pull it up.
You have created Dookie Dash.
Back to another video.
This is your game here. I don't know who this is, but we'll just mute it. This is your game here. This is your preference. This is your developers have said, look what we have created. We are experts in this field. We have created a game here. And
Looks pretty big.
now you can look at the other ones. What is it? The other side metaverse. You can look at these.
That one right there.
And I get this is beta, but like I'm just explain to me.
So then why do people continue to dump millions of dollars into it, Rob?
Because you have fallen victim to marketing. You have fallen victim to marketing, and you, David, have also fallen victim to marketing because you've told me how great this ape coin is going to be, and I said this thing is trash, and I missed the trash can. But I will say that this is trash because I don't believe they're going to launch the product. I don't believe it, and it's just for the simple fact that every year there are hundreds, every year there are thousands of games that come out by large gaming developers that have experience building games, and there's only like 1% of those games are ultimately successful. There is less than 1% of those games that get millions of users. And that's all I'm saying. Now, if you can get a platform that already has millions of users and you say, hey, we're going to onboard our users into this new metaverse game, that makes sense. right? You're
I
taking,
did think it was
somebody that already has millions of users, already has experience building a game with millions of users.
I agree.
That can offer a product, but it'd be like if one of these tokens, like, let me just ask you a question. If one of these crypto tokens said, hey, we're launching a crypto token, we're going to develop a new electric car. Wouldn't you think that's insane? You'd be like, what do you mean you're going to develop a new electric car? Well, this token's going to fund our project to do electric cars, and you're going to earn tokens every time you drive the car. I'm like, okay, but you still need to create the car. I'm like, do you have any experience? No, but we're hiring some people. Like, do you understand how cutthroat of a business that is? Do you understand how many car companies fail? How hard it is to break through in that? How much infrastructure you have to put in? How hard it is to develop in that ecosystem?
How much money you're gonna have to spend?
How much money you have to spend, and you cannot get it wrong. You cannot sell your cars and have them things break down. Because if they break down, then nobody's gonna buy them anymore. And then you're gonna have a Suzuki.
I did think it was a little odd that they decided to build it from scratch, their metaverse. Now, I want to move on to a game that you have personally played. And I want you to take on this. So, My Pet Hooligan, this is from Decrypt, could rival Fortnite with its vibrant battle royale combat. And we do have a little clip from Kate Irwin on Twitter posted. And well, this is some of the gameplay. And Rob, I'm going to get your opinion on this because you actually played this game.
Yeah, I played this. It was pretty good, yeah.
And so, you know, right off the bat, like, and this is me who's not really a gamer. I do play games, but this kind of looks fun. You know, I've played Fortnite. I play Call of Duty.
It's very similar to Splatoons. Is another game that I would say is pretty comparable to this, which is on Nintendo Switch, which is this one is a battle royale, but the Splatoons is very similar visually. And very successful franchise as well. This one was cool because the avatar you use, you could have it, you would use your webcam on your computer and it would map your face.
Yeah.
Look at your face.
Yeah,
and so
that.
any expressions you had in real life, it would be translated. So if you gritted your teeth or you yelled or you got mad or you laughed, those expressions would translate over to your character. So I thought that was pretty unique. And what else? What else was this one about? Here's the thing: just if you're going to make a game, just make the game, and don't promote it as a blockchain, right? Because if you promote it as blockchain, I'm not saying it's negative.
Okay,
it's just pointless, right? It would be the equivalent of me spending any of my resources. If I had
what?
Hear me out. If I had a gaming studio, right, and we had the developers, we were creating a game. If I spent any dollar advertising that game that is publicly traded on Wall Street, it would be stupid, right? You'd be like, why are you mentioning that? Well, it's publicly traded on Wall Street. It's listed on NASDAQ. Who cares? Do the gamers care if you can buy it on NASDAQ? Do the gamers care it's listed on Wall Street? Do the gamers care that it's a publicly traded company? No, they don't. So why the fuck would you promote that your game is listed as a blockchain? Sell it to the kids. Sell it to the people. Make it fun to play. Why does it matter if it's a blockchain? Just tell them, like, hey, if you have a sequel, you get to keep all your skins. Just keep it simple. Nobody needs to know how the hell the thing works. You don't need to know that.
So you're saying it's too confusing for people?
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. It's not necessary. You don't need to know if the game you buy for your kid is a publicly traded company or not. Do you care? Do you think that any marketing should be spent explaining if Fortnite is publicly traded company or not? No. If you were developing
for the purpose
of
getting people to come and play your game, no. There's no need.
For the purpose of getting people to come play your game, what other purpose do you need? You're trying to onboard users. So your only mission, your only directive when you're advertising, if you're marketing, if I work for Fortnite, my only job is to get this in front of as many eyeballs as possible and onboard as many users. Irrelevant information is unnecessary and harmful. And to mention publicly traded company would be detrimental to your marketing campaign. And so if you are going to offer a game in the blockchain space, don't mention blockchain. Don't even mention it. Just onboard the users. Let them figure it out afterwards that it's blockchain. Grit, Gala Games. They do that. You go to Epic Game Launcher. You go on there. You can search Grit. It's on the game. It looks just like all the other ones, right? It's like this game, Grit. There it is. It's not advertised at all. Now, when you go to buy it, there's a disclaimer. Hey, there are NFT transactions in this game, just to make you aware. But that's per the game launcher.
Some good takes today.
No, we start talking about video games. You could get fired up, man.
I know. Why do you think today's show is about video games? Fireworks, fired up. Fire up the internet. Thanks to Cam's Blue Wire Technology channel sponsor. Huge shout out to them. They are sponsored today's show, brought to you by them. So thank you to them. If you want more information on how they can help your business, visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. You want from
XI. Said facts like 3 times.
I know. Yeah. We're going to keep pumping up your ego here. Now, speaking of pumping up, let's pump up our numbers. Go follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. Also, join our community ran Discord. Big shout out to Billy, Biomex, and all the mods in there that have turned that Discord around, added some new functionality to it. Also, go visit the merch store. And also, have fun today. Do some fireworks. Don't Jason Pierre-Paul yourself and blow off 4 or 5 fingers. Be careful. Have fun. Spend time with family. Finger tornado.
Oh, not today.
Finger fireworks.
Stop.
Guys, thank you so much. Happy 4th of July. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Until then, peace.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado